General pharmacology is completed. Today I'll start with the autonomic nervous system. You're going to study today parasympathomimetics or cholinergic drugs. First we'll have a little bit introduction about this. Nervous system is divided into central nervous system. It's made of brain and spinal cord. Peripheral nervous system, which is outside the brain and spinal cord, we call it as a peripheral nervous system. Peripheral nervous system is having efferent and afferent. Efferent, the one which carries impulses from brain to the other parts of the body, and afferent is the one which carries impulses from other parts into the brain. These are the things you know. It's just a brief introduction. The efferent nervous system is parasympathetic nervous system is further divided into autonomic and somatic. Autonomic, when you say it's a involuntary in nature, and somatic when you say it's a voluntary in nature. Autonomic nervous system, it's having two branches. One is sympathetic and parasympathetic. It acts on smooth muscle and glands. It controls and regulates the heart, respiratory system, GI tract, bladder, eyes and glands. It's involuntary in nature. Person does not have any control. Somatic, when you say it's voluntary in nature, persons are having a control. Mainly its innervation is on the skeletal muscle. What are the actions of sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system? This you studied in physiology. It's just brief introduction here. Sympathetic nervous system, which is the neurotransmitter, it's a norepinephrine or noradrenaline. And parasympathetic nervous system, acetylcholine is the neurotransmitter. Action on the eye, sympathetic, it dilates pupil. Parasympathetic causes constriction of the pupil. And action in the lungs, it dilates bronchial smooth muscle or bronchodilation it causes. And parasympathetic, it causes constriction of the bronchial smooth muscle or bronchioles. Action in the heart, sympathetic increase heart rate, parasympathetic decreases heart rate. Action in the blood vessel, they causes bronchoconstriction and rise in BP. Parasympathetic causes vasodilatation and fall in BP. Sympathetic vasoconstriction and rise in BP. Gastrointestinal smooth muscle, it causes relaxation, and parasympathetic causes increases peristaltic movement of the food. Bladder, it relaxes urinary bladder muscle, and parasympathetic causes constriction of the urinary bladder, so that micturition will occur. Uterus, it causes relaxation of the uterus, sympathetic only action. Salivary gland, only some parasympathetic action, that is increase salivary secretion. Autonomic nervous system will take, which is a neurotransmitter, norepinephrine. Drugs that mimic the action of norepinephrine or noradrenaline, we call it as adrenergic drugs or sympathomimetics. Agonist, when you say the one which binds to a receptor and shows the response, similar to a physiological function, right? So adrenergic agonist, that will initiate the response. Antagonist, when you say, it will also bind to a receptor, but it inhibits the action of agonist. So adrenergic antagonists, they are going to prevent a response. Adrenergic drugs that block the actions of norepinephrine, we call it as adrenergic blockers or sympatholytics. Same way, parasympathetic nervous system, which is the neurotransmitter, acetylcholine. Drugs that mimic the action of acetylcholine, we call it as cholinergic drugs or parasympathomimetic. That is today's topic. And cholinergic agonist means that will initiate a response. Antagonist, they will block the response. Drugs that block, we call it as anticholinergic or parasympatholytics. Anticholinergic topic is important for exam point of view. Usually cholinergics, you don't get any question, but to know about the to study anticholinergics, you should have a basic of cholinergic or parasympathomimetic drugs. So we'll start with the cholinergic today. Anticholinergic I'll take next class. Cholinergics stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system. They mimic the action of acetylcholine. These cholinergic drugs they react on two types of receptor. One is muscarinic and the other one is the nicotinic. Classification: esters of choline, acetylcholine, methacholine, carbachol, bethanicol. Cholinomimetic alkaloids: pilocarpine, mascarin and daricholine. Choline esterase inhibitors: physostigmine, neostigmine and organophosphorus compounds. Cholinergic drugs, their mechanism is of two types. One is direct acting and the indirect acting. First we'll take direct acting. Direct acting means they directly bind to a receptors like muscarinic or nicotinic to activate the response. Indirect acting, this acetylcholine is the neurotransmitter, right? This acetylcholine is degraded or hydrolyzed by an enzyme called acetylcholine esterase. So indirect acting drugs, what they do, they will inhibit the enzyme acetylcholine esterase. So the acetylcholine level will increase, so that then the acetylcholine acts on the receptor and shows the response. That's why it is indirect acting. This is the picture showing. First picture, drugs directly bind to a receptor to show the action. Those are direct acting. The second picture is the indirect acting. In this drugs, they bind to acetylcholine esterase enzyme. They inhibit the action of acetylcholine esterase enzyme, so that acetylcholine level will increase. Then acetylcholine bind to a receptor to show the response. This muscarinic and nicotinic receptors, we'll see the subtypes. Muscarinic, there are 5 subtypes. We will see the innervation. M1, central nervous system, ganglion. M2, heart, it is present. M3, smooth muscles of GI tract, detrosal muscles of the bladder. M4, central nervous system. M5, substantia nigra. Nicotinic receptor, NM and NN type. NM is present in skeletal muscle, NN in adrenal medulla or ganglion. We'll see the pharmacological actions of this acetylcholine. First we'll take the muscarinic action, then nicotinic action. Muscarinic action on the cardiovascular system. Here on the heart, in heart, what type of muscarinic receptor is present? That is M2 type. It depresses SA node, causes bradycardia or decrease in heart rate. That is called negative chronotropic action. That may lead to, due to bradycardia, may lead to cardiac arrest. Decrease cardiac contractility, that is called negative inotropic action. Means force of contraction, it's going to decrease, and it may cause AV block also. Action on the blood vessel. Here M3 receptors are present. They dilate the blood vessels in the skin mucous membrane by stimulating the M3 receptor, so that blood vessel and mucous the skin and mucous membrane, they release nitric oxide. It is a vasodilator from the vascular endothelial cells that causes vascular relaxation. The overall effect is vasodilatation and fall in BP. It causes dilatation of coronary arteries also. Action on the smooth muscle mainly causes contraction. Again here M3 receptors are present. Smooth muscles of GI tract increase the tone and rhythmic activity of the GI tract, enhances peristalsis movement, rapid propulsion of the intestinal contents. Overall effect is abdominal cramping. Gallbladder, it also causes contraction. Urinary bladder also contracts the detrosal muscle of the urinary bladder, so the trigonal sphincter is relaxed, and that causes micturition or voiding of urine. Ureter, it causes contraction. Bronchial constriction of the bronchial smooth muscle. Overall effect is bronchospasm. Secretions, all the secretions are increased: sweating, salivation, lacrimation, tracheobronchial, gastric secretion. Secretion of milk and bile is not affected. Action on the eye: constriction of the pupil, that is called meiosis. It's not mitosis, meiosis. Meiosis is just nothing but a constriction of the pupil. Our pupil size will become smaller, or it will reduce. We have one more term, that is mydriasis, that you will see in anticholinergic. You will see what are effect you have seen here. Opposite you will see in case of anticholinergic drugs. They causes mydriasis. Mydriasis means dilatation of pupil, but here it is a meiosis, that is constriction of the pupil. How it causes mydriasis means, one is by contracting the circular fibers, is also called sphincter pupillae. Eye is supplied by two types of muscles. One is circular muscle, it's also called sphincter pupillae. Radial muscle, and that also called dilator pupillae. Reduction in intraocular tension by increasing the drainages of aqueous humor through the canal of Schlemm. Contraction of the ciliary muscle, that causes relaxation of the suspensory ligaments of the lens, so that vision is fixed to a short distance. That is called spasm of accommodation. So what are the effects on the eye? Three effects you will see. What is constriction of the pupil, meiosis due to contraction of circular fibers, and reduction in intraocular tension due to increase in the drainage of aqueous humor through the canal of Schlemm. The last one is the contraction of the ciliary muscle, that causes spasm of accommodation. At least if you don't remember overall thing, contraction of ciliary muscle causes spasm of accommodation. That much you should remember. If the ciliary muscles are contracted, there will be relaxation of the suspensory ligament of the lens, so that vision is fixed to a short distance. See, if you take a rubber band and you pull from both the side, the center portion will be relaxed. Same way, if the ciliary muscles, that they are at the edge, see here one ciliary muscle. So ciliary muscle at the edge, if they are pulled, the suspensory ligament will be relaxed. That's why vision is fixed to a near distance. Next we'll see the nicotinic action. We have two subtypes, NM and NN. First we'll see NN, that is present in ganglion, autonomic ganglion. Acetylcholine induces ganglion, so that increase output of acetylcholine and noradrenaline from the postganglionic, parasympathetic and sympathetic nerve endings. See here, the acetylcholine as well as noradrenaline, both the levels will be increased. That's why you'll see a rise in BP. Okay, at high dose after administration of atropine. See why you have to administer here atropine. Atropine, it's a anticholinergic drug. Anticholinergic means they block the actions of acetylcholine. So to see acetylcholine action on the smooth muscle, it causes fall in BP. To see the nicotinic action, first you have to block the actions of acetylcholine. How you have to block? By using a antagonist, that is atropine. When you give a atropine, you'll see only nicotinic action, that only in noradrenaline action, that will be rise in BP. Okay, and skeletal muscle, it induces contraction. Intraarterial injection of high dose causing, when you give intraarterial injection into the lumen of the artery, this acetylcholine, it causes twitching and fasciculation. Twitching means single muscle fiber contraction. Fasciculation, when you say, it's a group of muscle fiber contraction. Therapeutic uses, this cholinesterases are rarely used because this acetylcholine, the duration of action is just 30 minutes. It will degrade after that by acetylcholine esterase. So that's why cholinergic drugs, they are not used much. Bethanechol, it's used in post-operative, postpartum, non-obstructive urinary retention. Neurogenic bladder atony, bladder will lose control, that is called atony. Congenital megacolon, colon size will increase. Gastroesophageal reflux, the reflux will come after having food, most of the people having. In that case also you can use. Bethanicol, it's also called uricolin. See here, you don't get any question with any drug usually. It's very rare. Selective to muscarinic receptor, it has negligible cardiovascular effect, mimic actions of acetylcholine. Used for urinary retention, take on an empty stomach, should never be administered intravenous route. Pilocarpine, maybe physiotherapy students may get one 5-mark question with this. Pilocarpine, source leaves of Pilocarpus microphyllus. The plant name is the Pilocarpus microphyllus. It's having only muscarinic effect. Stimulates ganglion, cause sweating, salivation, and increase other secretions. Cardiovascular effects are complex. Small doses it may cause fall in BP, that is due to muscarinic effect, and higher doses it cause rise in BP and tachycardia due to nicotinic or ganglionic stimulation. Applied to the eye, it penetrates cornea and causes miosis and fall in intraocular tension. Used in open angle glaucoma. So in case of glaucoma, there is an optic nerve damage, and also intraocular tension will be high. So how we will reduce the intraocular tension means, one is increasing the drainage of aqueous humor or decreasing the production of aqueous humor. This drug it usually increase drainage of aqueous humor. That's why they are used in glaucoma. Muscarine, it occurs in poisonous mushroom Amanita muscaria and Inocybe species. It's having only muscarinic action, only toxicological importance, like to study adverse effects you can use. Aricolin, it's found in betel nut, or the chemical name is, scientific name is Arica catechu. It's having both muscarinic and nicotinic actions. Mushroom poisoning, sometimes they may ask for 5-mark question. There are 3 types of mushroom poisoning. Muscarinic type, it's also called early mushroom poisoning. The mushroom type is the Inocybe related species. It's having muscarinic symptom that will occur within 1 hour. See here, muscarinic symptoms only you'll see. So that's this atropine, it can it's an anticholinergic or antagonist of acetylcholine. It blocks the muscarinic effect. So we are given for atropine as an antidote here. Anticholinergic or hallucinogenic type, here atropine cannot be given because here the symptoms are anticholinergic, like the opposite of muscarinic, or the blockade of muscarinic receptor. What actions you will see, that type of actions you will see here, that I'll discuss what are the anticholinergic actions. Isoxazole compounds from Amanita muscaria and related species causes this anticholinergic type. Phalloidin type or late mushroom poisoning, peptide toxins from Amanita phalloides or Galleriana species causes. They inhibit RNA and protein synthesis. So symptoms starts with many hours later. That's due to damage to the GI mucosa, liver and kidney. Treatment, supportive measures and administration of thioctic acid. Phalloidin type, antidote is thioctic acid. Muscarinic type, antidote is atropine. But anticholinergic, we don't have any antidote, only symptomatic treatment you have to give here.